I think I'll do exactly. So it all is just like silver. May need a little extra security. Oh my god, it's so pretty!
So we'll work this side and kind of coming underneath there. I think it's going to work the best.
Turn towards me like Brittany C.
I feel so good. It's so pretty. It's exactly. I know. It looks so good.
Yeah. Blue in her hair for probably 6 months. And yes. Lord.
Sarah's. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Beautiful.
Tiara. Yep, that works.
Okay. Oh my god. The responsibility
I don't recall, but it doesn't matter because we're
Both
giving them
go
both to the officiant
at the same time. This one.
That's perfect. Thanks, Mom. I don't know if we can try.
Hey there, hot stuff.
Can I turn around now?
I'm gonna say yes.
Keep it together. Would you like a kiss?
It's all happening now. It's okay. It's okay. We're here.
Yeah.
Now it's picture time.
Yes. Okay.
Hi. Derek. Christy. Alright, can someone take your bouquet? Oh, yes. Okay. Come on up. It's gonna... Right? Okay.
This couple have come here today to be joined in marriage. The essence of this commitment is the taking of another person in his or her entirety as lover, companion, and friend. Sarah and Shane have invited us to share in this celebration as they affirm their love before us, pledge their faith to one another, and enter into the joys and privileges of marriage. Love is one of the highest experiences we human beings can have, and it can add depth of meaning to our lives. The day-to-day companionship, the pleasure in doing things together, or in doing separate things but exchanging experiences, is a continuous and central part of what a married couple who love each other can share. Sarah Elizabeth Linders, will you text Shane Thomas Forberger, here present, to be our lawful husband, to have and behold, and to be faithful to him from this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, so long as you both shall live.
I will.
Shane Thomas Forbringer. Will you take Shane, Sarah Elizabeth Linders? The answer is yes. To be your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold and to be faithful to him, her from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, so long as you both shall live.
I do.
I call upon all persons present
I call upon all persons present
to witness that I, Sarah Elizabeth Linders,
to witness that I, Sarah Elizabeth Linders,
do take thee, Shane Thomas Forbringer,
do take thee, Shane Thomas Forbringer, to be my wedded husband.
I call upon all persons present that I, Shane Thomas Forbringer, do take thee, Sarah Elizabeth Linders, to be my wedded wife.
May I have the rings, Cameron? Thank you very much.
It's okay. Oh, here.
Sarah, this, excuse me, this ring is a symbol of your marriage and a symbol of your life together. Please place it on the third finger of Shane's left hand, repeating after me, as a token of this solemn vow
As a token of this solemn vow
of marriage.
of marriage,
I, Sarah Elizabeth Linders, give
I,
this ring.
I, Sarah Elizabeth Linders, give this ring. It's just right.
Yes, it does. Thank you. It's okay.
Shane, this ring is a symbol of your marriage and a symbol of your life together. Please place it on the third finger of Sarah's left hand, repeating after me, as a token of the solemn vow of marriage.
As a token of the solemn vow of marriage, I, Shane Thomas Forbringer, give this ring. There we go. Perfect fit. There you go. You're welcome.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Solemnization of Marriage Act, I hereby pronounce you, Shane Thomas Forbringer and Sarah Elizabeth Linders, to be husband and wife. May you enjoy lengths of days, fulfillment of hope, and peace and contentment of mind as you, day by day, live and fulfill the terms of this covenant which you have made to one another. Shane, you may kiss this beautiful bride.
Am I all lipsticked up? Got through it.
I kissed 2 years in the making.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Wait a while.
Yeah.
The signing of a marriage certificate is not just a legal requirement. It is in fact an ancient custom that recognizes marriage as a social union. Sarah and Shane, today is the first day of the rest of your lives. It is my pleasure to introduce to you for the first time as husband and wife, Sarah and Shane. Congratulations.
All right. Shall we? Yeah. Let me. Yeah. You okay?
Oh my god.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
One
Hello, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here at Sarah and Shane's wedding. Finally! It's been a long time coming. Hi, I'm Annabelle. I almost called myself Sarah. Oh my god. I am Annabelle. I am Sarah's younger sister. I'm so happy to see you all. I think I've met a lot of you last night or today, so it's been great seeing everyone and catching up. First up, we have Bonnie and Will. Next up, we have Josh Studd, Josh Worker, and our maid of honor, Brittany, and our best man, Cameron. All right, and please help me in welcoming the newlyweds, Sarah and Shane.
So I think the start is really, when Shane and I were born, the story goes that Shane came out completely silent. In fact, he didn't breathe at all until I showed up screaming. And then he immediately joined in that racket, and I don't know how much sleep he got after that. But I think that really illustrates something. I think it illustrates that Shane is an incredibly loyal person. He was not going to leave me behind. He's always, as the story says, the first one to go out there into the world to try new things and clear a way for me. So for that, I am truly grateful. Shane and I actually met Sarah in our 10th grade. And our meeting was due to an alliance of nerds from Brookside and from Clayton Park who got together because some of our mutual friends started dating. When we all left high school and we went on to university all across the country, or to various universities even within the province, it was Sarah who always made sure that we were getting together at the end of the semester and making sure that everybody stayed in touch. And holding all these friendships together, which I'm sure many of you know, that's a lot of work. And it takes a lot of effort. And for that, I'm truly grateful just for that alone. There are so many things that I could really say about Sarah as a friend, but that especially. Movie nights, heart of movie nights. Yeah, I think the romance started on a Europe trip that the three of us all went on. And how could you not fall in love in Europe, right? Now, I was there too. That's not fair, We were very much three friends going out together and facing this Europe vacation in strange lands. One night when we were waiting for a train in Berlin, and it was late, very late. It was about 3 hours late by the time it got to us. It was 1 a.m. and I'm getting onto the bottom bunk, and Shane and Sarah had no choice but to take the two remaining bunks, which were on the top, because that train was determined to make up for lost time. So as we went from Berlin to Munich, it was rocketing around the corners, and I could feel the shaking when I was on the bottom bunk, but I'm sure the top bunk was like a roller coaster. It was dark, it was noisy, we had no sleep, it was scary, and these two held hands the whole night long. Yeah. Pressure reveals character, and in that moment, I think that they realized that, that these are two people who can really depend on each other. I would say that you guys have always been there for me, pushing me to, be my best self and really pushing me beyond, my comfort zone and making sure that I was getting out there and meeting important people and just, every moment of my life. So thank you both for being there. And I love you both very much. I'm so proud of you.
4 years to prepare the speech, huh? I definitely did that and did not write this 2 days ago. And we met about 11 years ago, if you can believe that, during our first week of university. So we were both taking the public relations program at the Mount, and I had just moved here from Newfoundland. I didn't know anybody, and so while I was waiting for one of my first classes of the semester to begin, I decided to sit down next to another girl in my class who was reading a book with the hopes of making a friend. And I asked her what she was reading. It was The Help, by the way, if you're curious. And it was the classic tale of extrovert meets introvert, extrovert adopts introvert, and I haven't let it go since. And one summer we even got to be roommates, which was really cool. And she introduced this non-native Nova Scotian to the concept of storm chips, which I'd never heard of before, and which was during a hurricane. We consumed many storm chips while we hunkered down watching movies literally all day. Speaking of movies, being invited to a weekly movie night, hey, call back. I really felt like I was part of this group of friends that had known each other for so long. I felt like I got welcomed right in with you guys, and I really appreciated that. And through this, I've also come to call Shane a friend over the years as well. And I couldn't be happier. Oh, despite the fact that I'm crying, I couldn't be happier, truly, to be here with you both on your special day. And, it really didn't take long to see that you two are made for each other. As cheesy as that is, it's really true. You can see it every time you look at each other. Every single smile, you can see that. And I'm so lucky to have such a supportive and kind-hearted best friend. And even luckier to have the honor of standing here with you while you marry your love. So congratulations, and I love both of you.
So the good news is that this relatively emotionally devastating speech that I was going to give has been canceled because I talked to Shane earlier and he told me that an interpretive jazz dance would be better.
Okay. Maybe you end your speech with the shimmy.
The next 3-hour performance. No, I'm going back to the speech. I do want to apologize for 2 things associated with the speech. Firstly, the abundant plagiarism that you're about to hear from the last 2 speeches. And secondly, there's an outright lie in it. I've got a line here that says, "This is the part where I start crying." That was way earlier. Sarah and I met in primary. We became close friends, spending lots of time at recess together, pretending to be Pokemon and imagined animal hybrids. I believe the Lyclaw, which was a lion tiger with a horn.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm not disputing this. I just need to check my historical records. Sarah's family moved 2 blocks away from mine, and so we started walking to school together. Then came high school, however, and with it the Forbriger twins, among the smartest and kindest people I have ever had the good fortune to meet. We found a corner of the school to eat luncheon and created a band of 20 odd people. Video games and board games, movies and musicals, projects and first jobs. Walmart and Tim Hortons, cell phones and credit cards, CAS hours and graduation. And suddenly there it was. Friendships that had been there weren't so accessible. Different universities, different classes, different commitments. Many friendships in our lives end there, but not all of them. See, I'm lying. It's not even at the crying part yet, Will. You find time for the friends that are valuable to you. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you find love in the friends that are valuable to you. This is the part where I start crying. Sarah and Shane, it has been my greatest pleasure to have known you as individuals and as a couple. You are each so kind, so clever, and so driven. You take care of one another. And I hope this continues through your whole life, because you deserve each other so much.
Everybody was talking about over the last little while that this wedding was 3 years in the making, right? 4. But what they don't realize is that last night, it almost didn't happen. Now, we had a party at our place, and it was going great. It was really nice. We had the groomsmen and the bridesmaids, and we decided to open it up to the extended family. So all the Sarah's aunts and uncles, her grandmother, her grandfathers, her grandmothers and grandfather, my parents, and so it was a really, really nice evening. And at one point I thought, well, I'm going to go in the living room and meet some of Sarah's, extended family. And it was really nice. It was going really well. And then I said something. And there was silence. And her Aunt Coco looked at her mother, Sarah's grandmother, Trixie, and then Ray looked at Trixie, and then Ray's wife, Rhonda, looked at Trixie, and there was just this awkward silence. And you might be thinking, well, what the heck did Blair say that caused this reaction? And what I said was, I was born in Glace Bay. And for those of you who don't know, that side of Sarah's mom is from New Waterford, or Waterford. You drop the new if you know anything. But anyway, I went to St. Evax and I ended up rooming with a lot of people from New Waterford, so I knew, you need the New Waterford people on your side. Don't go out trying to go it on your own without the people from New Waterford. So there was this awkward silence, and then luckily Trixie looked at the three of them and she gave just a little nod that said, it's okay, the wedding can go ahead. Apparently he left Glace Bay when he was very young.
We are just so happy that Shane and Sarah are so happy. And I have to hold together because everybody else did. They did well. And we had a story along the same lines as Cameron, because we knew that Shane was smitten when they came back from that trip to Europe. We picked them up at the airport, and we're getting Shane and Cameron, and we're walking away, and Shane's looking back at Sarah, and Sarah's looking back at Shane, and they don't want to leave each other, and Blair and I are looking at them, ooh, like something happened while they were away. Yeah, things were never the same. It's so wonderful to have a daughter. Not that the sons aren't great, but it's so nice to have somebody on my side. And the other thing is that we're so happy about is the Linders family all together. We get along so well, and they're just another part of our family now. Our family has just gotten bigger. You kind of float along through life, and it's like you pick up some extra family along the way. So that's such a new part of our family that we're just so happy.
We just wish you guys truly happiness, and we love you both.
A marriage is so many things. It's a commitment to each other. It's a sign of love. It's an economic and legal thing. It's a social contract.
I promised I wouldn't do any ad libs. I'd stick to the script. I lied. There's going to be one. But when we think about partnership, as Christy was saying, I like to think about marriage as a partnership of equals. We've got a whole different domestic vocabulary than we did when I got married. We didn't have things like paternity leave, for example, right? It's just called parental leave now. There doesn't have to be a special thing. Why would a guy hang out with a kid, right? No. Our world has come an awfully long way. And One of the first progressive terms I ever remember was partner. And as a couple, you exemplify this. There's a glow. I mean, anybody here, when you two are gazing at each other, right? It's just an aura. What better to have guided you through 30 months of crazy pandemic, right? 2 postponements, society not knowing whether to wake up or not and when. It reminds me of a story I read to Sarah at bedtime many years ago. It was a Sesame Street story, Muppet story, called Bert and the Broken Teapot. And Bert, being basically a man-child and not ever having any responsibility ever before, gets overwhelmed and knocks over a teapot belonging to David, and it smashes irreparably into pieces. Now David will never let me work in the store again, he thought as I read to Sarah. And maybe he won't even be my friend anymore. Well, the book goes on to have David explain to Bert that people are more important than things. But there was a problem. Like what happens with many children's books, the rest of the pages had been torn out, and it just ended there. Shane, I used you as a prop several years ago. I was on a trip out to the NATO flight training center in Moose Jaw, and some other training centers, making a grand tour of many one-star hotels in the meantime. And I got out there, and this is what I faced. How may we be of help? And so one syllable answers to stuff, and I realized, oh my God, I have thoroughly wasted a couple of days of my time in travel and a couple of hours of these guys' time, and thousands of dollars for the company's money. And I saw an ink bottle of Pilot ink on the guy's desk, and I said, you like fountain pens, don't you? And he said, what do you mean? I said, that's really high-end fountain pen ink. And he pulled out a Castell von Faber very high-end fountain pen. And I said, wait a minute, that's the exact same fountain pen, same model and everything, that I just gave to and I paused, because Sarah and Shane were going out. He had just graduated his master's. My son-in-law to be, I aspirationally stated. And the guy said, oh, you want to know what's really going on around here? And the rest of the day was a so not knowing it, we had a partnership already.
It's been an absolute heartwarming joy for me to see the way that your family, your whole extended family, has welcomed Sarah into it, and it brings me such tremendous joy. I hope Shane knows that we want him in our family just as much, and he already is there. I've been pretty good at crime.
I've seen Shane not only as a gentleman, but as a demonstrably gentle man. You got a good one there, Sarah.
And I had bought 3 signs to go in our kitchen. And I looked at the signs for a little bit of inspiration and advice. The first sign says welcome, and welcome things. Welcome challenges, even crazy things like COVID that put off your wedding by 2 extra years, for the lessons you learn and for the growth that comes from it. Find joy in ordinary things, because most of our life is the ordinary part. And when you're just being ordinary together, if you can find joy in that, you will have a happy, happy life. And the third one is pretty self-explanatory. Life is short, so eat dessert first. If you guys hadn't decided to take a trip to Europe, your whole lives wouldn't be as wonderful as they're going to be now. And so take those opportunities when they come to you. Grab them and have fun with them together. We love you guys so much, and we're so proud of you, and we're so happy for you.
So we want to thank everyone, every single one of you, for joining us tonight. It sure has been a long time coming, and we couldn't be more grateful for your love and enthusiasm in the days and the weeks and the months and the years leading up to us finally tying the knot. It feels like a dream to be in front of all of you right now, and to see and hug our families and our friends, and to be communally together
in a way we haven't had happen in years. The small things feel really huge right now because of what we've all experienced apart, but together.
Neither of us are generally fond of being the center of attention. But there really is something special in seeing all of you here tonight. Not just for our benefit, but also for each of you to be here with each other. You know, family from across our family trees and friends from across the country who came out to be here with us today, and even friends who just came from the other side of the city. We're so grateful to see you all here.
Oh, that's all good. It's all good. Enjoy the bike.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to put your hand on mine.
Okay. You lead and I'll follow.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
A twist, a tail, I rip through myself. I'm made to watch the walls fall down. 'Cause goodbye's too strong, or too strong a word. And I'm weak from everything that I'm told. Yes, I'm weak from everything that I'm told. And I'm weak from all the things that I know. Do you think
The bride and groom, ladies and gentlemen. All right. There is cake in the back corner for everyone. We're going to get the music going. We're going to start some dancing.